I like driving German cars, but I like owning Japanese cars. I think you should experience German cars. If you're gonna buckle down for the long haul and own a car, it should be a nice Japanese car, something like a Toyota, Honda, Suzuki. If you're in Australia, there are good cars here, and similar cars of that nature. But let me break it down for you guys. If you're in USA, Canada, and Australia, it's true, guys. German cars, the rumors are pretty appropriate. They are expensive to own and operate. When I owned my BMW, I found that truth as well. Shop rates are higher, and sometimes, guys, problems can pop up where the expertise are simply not available in the country. That might not be the case in Europe, and I'm probably very certain it's not the case in Europe, but it does occur in markets like Canada, Australia, and USA. But despite that, I still think there's value in owning German cars and at least experiencing German cars, and I'm going to break it down for you. Number one, guys, is performance. I can be honest and tell you that German cars in pretty much any category outperform Japanese cars. Right now, I'm not going to say from a price perspective because German cars are always a bit more expensive, but if you think about categories, if you think about the category of a Civic, right? You've got your Civic Type R, Corolla GR, but then you've got the likes of your A45 AMG or your Audi RS3 or your Golf R. Those cars are performing very heavily. They're outperforming the Japanese competition. And then you go a category up into the likes of your BMW 3 Series, your Audi A4, A5, your Benz C-Class. And when you get into those M3s and your RS4s, RS5s, and your C63s, it's truly game over. There's nothing out there from Japan that competes. And when you go a category up, it's game over for sure, right? In terms of supercars and all those really high-end sports cars, the Germans and then the Italians as well. There are many cuts above Japanese models, and it's the case across all categories. Now, a lot of people would point towards the R35 GTR or the Mark IV Supra or the Honda NSXs or the Lexus LFA, and those are good cars, and the LFA is probably my favorite car ever, but those are niche cars. You know, they're rare cars, they're singular models. Overall, the German cars are on top, and for people who really want that premium level performance, it's going to be through German cars. So I have to give it points there. The second one's a bit more contentious, but I think there is value in this point. Now, a lot of people buy German cars to flex or impress their neighbors. And let's be honest about it. That's what a lot of people out there do. They get gratification out of that. If you pull up to the supermarket or pull up to the gym, and you know, a lot of people look out for others, seeing if their eyes are towards their car, right? I think that holds no value. In fact, I think that's a net disbenefit. Worst case scenario, you're attracting unwanted envy, and a mid case scenario is indifference. Someone will look at your car, think, oh, that's a BMW. Okay, move on with their life. It's not adding any value to your life. However, there are rare circumstances, and I would say this is probably a very rare circumstance, but it can make sense, where you have a business, or you're trying to get clients, or you're trying to get into a certain circle where a German car can add benefit. Now, it's not going to be the only thing. And I've got a Master of Business Administration, guys. And it is true that customers do care about optics, about how you look. They want to see how successful you are, and you gain their trust that way. Now, obviously, the primary source of attracting customers should be the value you provide and how good your business is at solving problems. But all of those things considered, there is going to be an element of someone perhaps looking at your car and judging your success by it. And that's where a nice German car can add value, right? Or perhaps you're trying to get into a certain social circle. A nice German car could help you. Now, it's going to be very rare cases, guys, and it's not going to be the one thing that makes a difference, right? You're going to have all your ducks in a row to get that happening. I want to take a fitness example, and that's where, you know, if you're bodybuilding or you're hitting the gym, a lot of people think that supplementation is going to get you ripped or going to give you muscle. No, that's going to come in play after everything else, after all your fundamentals are there, right? So you have to understand that's how it works, but there's value in that in very rare cases. Now, it's not going to work if you buy a base model BMW. You have to buy a good enthusiast level car or a really new German car, and it might not even pay off, but that is a scenario where it might work. Now, you get those two things, guys, and you sacrifice a lot in pursuit of them. A German car, just in terms of the capital you put in, the depreciation, if you get an old model, the repairs and maintenance, it's just not worth it for the average Joe. The average Joe is going to be much better off driving a nice Toyota or Honda or Suzuki or Mazda and calling it a day, guys. Adding the most value for them and their families. I hope that helped, guys. I'll catch you next time.